Hello and welcome back to the Weird and Proud podcast. It's Sam and
James is stuck in a corner.
James, we did put baby in a corner tonight. You guys, we're on video.
Video's live.
The video is live. I'm hoping the sound is okay because again, like we're kind of in just like a bare room.
It's a work in progress.
It's work in progress. We just have no furniture. Like I need to go back to the antique store. I'm obsessed with my antiques. I'm just like an antiquing girl. But we have no furniture up here, but at least we have the video for those who want to watch. Who knows? Like, you know, maybe a ghost will make a spooky appearance. Maybe the captain will pop in. But we have the upstairs and we're never up here. So, I mean, we basically have nothing on the entire second floor.
No.
Right now. So we have this one room and we're still even deciding like if we're going to stay here. But again, at least it's like somewhat up there. I just hope the audio is okay and it's not too echoey. I apologize. I'll try and do my best to adjust.
It sounds good in my headset.
Well, you know what? It sounds okay for right now. But anyways, we do have an amazing show for you guys. Hard-hitting news. I hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving. We Lilas you so much. How was your Thanksgiving, James?
Lilas?
You don't know what Lilas means?
No.
Remember, I've explained this to you.
Which one is Lilas?
Lilas. Lylas. What do you think the acronym stands for? Think about it.
LYL. Love you lots.
Love you like a sister.
Love you.
And you also
like
say Lilub, which is love you like a brother. You always say Lysum, which is love you so much.
Got it.
Come
I don't
on.
remember the sister one.
Do you remember Hags?
The Lysum I remember. Like the love you so much.
I know. You really don't say Lysum, but lols, you know, everyone started saying lols, so I'm saying Lilas.
Interesting.
Did you know what Hags is?
No.
Have a great summer. That's very niche. That was a yearbook sign off, but that's like a big acronym for the millennials.
That one I didn't know at all.
Oh, Hags. Anyways, what was I saying? Great show.
Great show.
Oh! I asked about your Thanksgiving.
Well, I think the thing it's going to be tough to live up to Thanksgiving because I'm going out on a limb and saying that the greatest entertainment day for like consuming content on television was Thanksgiving of 2025. I think that it all
for you.
I think for me, because Packers are on.
Right.
It's lots of football. But also for others, the Stranger Things came out on Wednesday.
Right.
So there was that as an option, right?
Right.
But then also this year, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade
popped off.
Slaughtered it.
Popped off.
Unexpectedly.
I was like half watching, but yeah, I did. I remember like looking at him like, is that Shaggy?
With the Teenage
Busta Rhymes?
But it was Busta Rhymes with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
that did
it was
for me.
Yeah,
that was the
coded.
one for me.
They were really speaking to millennials, and I appreciate that very much.
I just loved some of the posts that were out there. Like it felt like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. They just handed a sheet to a millennial, and the millennial's like, "I got this.
Yeah,
trust me.
Yeah, trust me.
Just trust me on this."
Yep. No, I loved it. It was great. Great time on Thanksgiving. Obviously, ate way too much food. But also I just have to say shout out to my pecan pie, my chocolate chip pecan pie, smashed out of the park. I gotta say, no one like really appreciates the dessert. By the end of the night, people have been eating so much all day that like it was like painful to try and eat it.
I think it failed perfect because
my brother, shout out to my brother and my dad, like they didn't even barely touch, like they had a bite and they're like, it's good, but like I can't eat anymore.
I had a whole piece.
Well, these skinny bitches. And we have a small Thanksgiving. Like, you know, like some people are like, you got to tell your Thanksgiving drama. Well, we don't really have any drama because it's so small. It's really my dad, obviously me, you, my brother and his wife. But like my older brother, he goes with his wife and does things with her. My mom's in Spain. And like her side of the family is in Europe and like goes over and does a Europe thing.
Yep.
You know, obviously your family's in Wisconsin. So it's like, it's a very small, like it's literally 4 or 5 people.
There isn't a whole lot of crossover for drama possibility.
Right. There's not much drama opportunities.
The biggest drama this year was people worrying that I wouldn't be able to make mashed potatoes and watch the Packer game at the same time.
Well,
which was pretty easy.
Well, I know, but it does. You never know when it comes to you and the Packers, how many beers will be involved, what's mind headspace you're going to be in when you're making the mashed potatoes. Are you going to be in a good mood? Or are you going to be in a bad mood?
I'm always
That
make
can
great
really
mashed
affect
potatoes. I think
the taters.
I always make great mashed
No, of
potatoes. So
course,
let's
of
be
course.
honest.
No, of course. It was so funny. I was seeing this post that was like, imagine a day, like a national holiday, the biggest holiday of the year, and like the women had to sit around and like watch something on TV for the entire span of the day and couldn't talk to anyone else or do anything but watch that particular thing on TV that no one else
That's
cared
actually
about.
really funny to think about.
And like, the husbands were expected to do all the cooking and cleaning. It would never happen, is what it was. It would never happen. But I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so happy for the men. This is a patriarchal society. Like, I'm so happy that the men got to watch their football. I mean, and I guess, okay, I will say, of course, there are women and, others that do enjoy football. But for me personally, and I, am probably speaking for all the
I'm
females when I
sure
say
quite a
that.
few.
But I do understand that there are some people that like to watch football. But like, I really, it's like, okay, you're like, this is the best content day ever. Best day ever. Like, I just get to watch football. It's like, okay, yeah, that's great. I like the eating. That's why I just take my gummies and just take Peach and Prue on walks. I took them on like 27 walks
Yeah, you
because
did a
every 10
lot.
minutes I'm like, well, I'm going to go take them
You did a lot of cousin walks that day.
But I'm so happy for you. And I'm so happy for my dad and my brother. You guys all, it was beautiful. Just men
Wonderful
being men.
content. Yep.
Also, what else? Well, you guys, also since the last time we spoke, we have done some furniture updates around the house. There have been some little updates here or there. We're getting there with the furniture. And everyone says don't rush with the furniture. So we did finally found a dining room table. So at least the dining room table is set up. We did get a really cool, what is it called? What's the thing at the end of the bed that we got?
Is it just called like a chest of drawers?
A chest of drawers.
Oh no, that's
basically just a chest.
It's
Yeah,
basically
I guess
just
it's
a chest. It's
I was
not
gonna
even
say
an
a treasure chest.
It's not even an
it's not
ottoman.
a treasure chest.
It's not even really an ottoman.
Yeah, I guess it's just a big chest. But big chest, just like me. But it's gorgeous. We literally for like $300, and on top of it, the best part of it all is that we did get an original apple cider press, like one of the original, like,
No, that's going to be good content.
Types of like the specific type of apple cider press that's literally from the 1800s. Apparently, it still works. So we got to figure out like how that's going to happen. But
we have an apple cider press.
Stay tuned. We have an apple cider press. I gotta get an outfit. I need
it's like I picture almost like your Halloween
House
outfit.
on the Prairie. Right.
It's very similar to your Halloween outfit.
Yeah. We gotta do like some reenactments. That's what we should do. We should like have people over and like we'll reenact. Like when you go to like Revolutionary War reenactments and stuff.
Or when we were at the Renaissance Fair. Reenactment.
Right. But we do it like
I got you.
at
Farmhouse
farmhouse reenactment. 1820s.
Main 1820s farmhouse reenactments. Yep.
And people can come watch.
I don't know why people wouldn't.
And we also be under the influence of.
We'll both be under specific influences of our specific things, and it'll be a good old time.
And and then at the end you get apple cider and fresh butter.
And we can make them apple butter.
All apple butter. Apparently, you can also make apple butter, which I don't even know what that is, but it sounds.
You don't know
amazing.
what apple butter is?
No, what's apple butter?
Oh,
because it says the apple cider press not only makes apple cider, of course, but it makes apple butter, and there's something else that it says it makes.
A bunch of other things, but any fruit like.
Well,
when we get the pear, when we get the pear harvest, we make
peaches.
We'll make pear wine. That's for sure.
I know we're gonna make wine, you guys. We have big plans, and also big things happening for spring.
You've never had apple butter?
No, I don't know what that is.
Apple butter.
What is it?
Yeah. So it's kind of like concentrated apple, like cooked down and caramelized with oil butter in it.
Oh,
it's like you spread it on toast. It's delicious.
Oh, okay,
usually a lot of cinnamon in it.
Okay,
it's fantastic.
That whole machine makes that.
I mean, you can make it without the machine, but having the machine is helpful.
I know, but like what? It just like press it down. So it's basically just like the gooey stuff.
I mean, that's if you're going to make apple cider. So yeah, instead of like chopping it up and have the actual apples in there, you would just use apple juice to make it.
Great. Yeah. Perfect. Love it. Stay tuned, you guys. Gird your loins. All right. Well, I think it's time. We do have some kind of buck wild stories, of course.
Of
Again, it's
course.
always just like, the week of Thanksgiving, it's kind of like a slow news. There's not a ton of, where is Prue?
Prue.
Pause.
Pause.
Prue.
Oh, boys.
So also we're upstairs, and the upstairs, you guys have seen, if you've watched like some of the videos, which if you want a full tour, oh, here she is. If you want a full tour of the house on YouTube, I have the full tour, even on Instagram, I believe I did too. But the second floor, the stairs are so steep.
Poor Prue.
We have one set of stairs, it's like the help stairs that are so steep, and the stairs are so tiny. And then we have one other set of stairs, and it's like a winding staircase, and the stairs are so tiny. And Prue can't really like climb on them. And anytime she's tried, I get so nervous. She's like, she's gonna slip and like break her.
She half fell down the one time.
One time she tried, literally like on the first day we moved in here.
It was very traumatic for her.
Oh my God, I seriously almost cried. I thought she tore her ACL or like tore something. She was like made it halfway up and then slipped and fell on her back all the way down. I was like, oh my God, never again.
So we're trying to be careful. So this episode, we will be paying attention to Prue a little bit.
Yeah, because we're trying to make sure she doesn't go down the stairs, but she wants to be up here with us. Like when we're up here, like they want to be up here.
If we left her downstairs, she would try to come up the stairs, which I'm more scared about. Is if we weren't there.
Yeah, if we weren't there and she's trying to go up the stairs, she might have to get baby gates for her. But at least Peach can get up and down, and obviously the cats can. So, all right. Just to give you, so anyways, again, it's a little bit of a slow, no crazy hard hitting news.
No.
I mean, nothing the government's trying to cover up. That's what James would say, right?
No.
At least not yet. At least not that we know of. I haven't heard.
They haven't told us.
Where's the Epstein files? Like, where is everything? Where is all the hard hitting news?
You know, it's funny. I was going to look that up before, but I went down my wormhole.
Is it out?
No, I think that they're still writing the rules of what's going to be released from it and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is based very much on just the last time I looked at it. This is not an update. There's probably new information and people that know more about this than I do right now. But again, the main part of it and was now I'm sure it's being looked at by multiple attorneys and other layers of government.
Yeah, and what it can be used and what names.
And the number one thing was the protection of the victims.
Oh, right.
So,
yes, of course.
The files are being looked at right now by people. They're not going to release it publicly till they've figured out what should and shouldn't be released and how close of a connection can they have to a victim and like a name being released that's not supposed to be released or something like that.
Got it.
I don't know all the details, but that's the most important part right now.
Got it.
I think it's in the hands. I want to say the Justice Department has it. You know, the three branches of government.
Right. I do. From what's that show? What's that song and the show?
I know exactly which one you're talking about. It's kind of got like a groovy.
I'm just a bit on Capitol Hill.
That's exactly the one I was thinking of. Yep, that's where our brain should all go to.
Everyone's gonna know. It's like not Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock.
It might be Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh my God! By the way, I was in Schoolhouse Rock as a play in middle school. And I was at one point I knew every one of those songs. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I really hope you know. Millennials will know.
I know exactly which
it
one
was
you're
a
talking
play.
about.
I don't know if it was like a TV show or how it like originated.
I think it was an
TV,
old educational TV show. Yeah.
Cartoon. Yeah.
Like similar-ish to a Sesame Street type thing.
It'd be like on PBS.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, now we can get into things. So again, this is kind of random weird news of the week and things that I just felt like I needed to tell you. Okay.
Perfect.
Number one, and someone else has sent this to me. There's a couple things that always catch my eye in a news story. You know, I love a cruise ship story.
Oh, you are big time on the cruise ship stories these days. If we see anything cruise related,
a cruise ship related
not that you want to go on a cruise, you just love the drama from the cruise,
right? Because it's kind of it's like my nightmare.
Yeah.
I also love like a world record. You know, there are a couple of things that just like always pique my interest. Something else that piques my interest is people dying at Disney.
Oh boy. Our hearts goes out to anyone who's lost someone at Disney.
Of course. Disclaimer. Of course. It's always sad when someone passes. But There's something about people passing at Disney that is freaky because again, it's the happiest place on earth. Why are people dying there? Also, we did do a whole episode at one point, maybe a couple, like, yeah, I mean, at this point, it was probably like a year ago, on Disney and Disney conspiracy theories.
I remember we talked about because Walt Disney is like
Yeah,
still up in the
frozen under
room.
the
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
haunts and all this different stuff. So if you're interested, you could always go back and listen to that too if you haven't listened to it. But one thing that a lot of people really are shocked about is just how many people do pass away at Disney. And the other thing too is like people spreading their remains, or not their remains, but their ashes
At Disney,
at
we
Disney.
talked about. I think we touched on that the last time. I never
Yeah,
even
it's like a
thought about that.
huge thing.
That's it sounds weird, but even for my that's kind of cool.
Right. Other
I'm
than the
not
fact that
one
like
to
you don't
want.
want to be
I
like
wouldn't.
swimming or like
No,
touching
I would not want my
ashes.
remains spread at Disney. I'm not that big a Disney fan, but there are people out there that are pretty crazy about the Disney stuff. To
Yeah.
each their own. I'm not going to
Yep.
yuck their yum.
Yep. Yep.
That's. I think that's. I'm
Kind of
glad Disney
nice.
allows it.
Oh, they don't. You get banned for life.
You don't. They never mind.
No, you get banned for life if you do that. If you're seen doing it. But the going back to the article, so again, a lot of people do pass away there, whether it's, again, old age, health related, or a lot of people take their own lives, which is really sad. But what's crazy is over the last month, there have been 5 deaths at Disney, which is really unheard of. Like normally it's like 1 or 2 a month on average, but 5 deaths in the last month are really, really crazy. And, of course, there's not like a ton of details, but it like the stretch started like on October 14th, which was kind of creepy too. A lot of, a couple of them had happened right around Halloween. One person, it was one person had a heart attack,
Yeah.
another person had a stroke, and the other ones were taking their own lives.
I was going
Which
to
is
ask
so
how
sad.
many of them were suicide because look, it's just
3 out of the 5.
it's just a well-known fact that suicide rates increase a little bit over the holiday time. So
That is true. That is very true. But it, a lot of it too. Also, they include the hotels, which like 2 of them were in the hotels or by the
oh
hotel.
yeah, of course, with Disney property,
Disney property. So it's not like it's like on a ride,
Disney adjacent.
Disney adjacent, right? But it's just crazy. Whenever I had seen in the news and people had sent it to me because we had done a whole
Yeah.
thing on it, and it is like it's one of those like great contrasts of like Disney, the happiest place ever, and then like death, murder. Well, not murder, but I wonder if someone has ever been murdered at Disney.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Captain?
I can talk about the death side. I mean, the suicide rate I think makes sense this time of year.
Yep.
Also,
And again, just too like people going to Disney to do it,
I mean,
as like
a big time of year for heart attacks also around the holidays. But the reason why Disney would also, I mean, those rides, if you have a weak ticker, those rides aren't good for you, right? That amount of excitement and energy.
Well, that's what they said too, and that was one of the things we had talked about is
stress. And
stress, heat.
I was just going to say one of the biggest reasons why people have heart attacks on Mondays is because they're dehydrated from their weekend. So like being dehydrated, say that you aren't super active and walk.
Yep.
How much more do you think you would walk going to,
Mm-hmm.
like when we would go in, I'm going to compare Disney to New York City. We go to the city on those hot days when it's just like blacktop everywhere and it's just scorching hot.
Yep.
And you're walking much more than you're used to. I can imagine that would attribute
a lot more heat strokes, heart attacks for sure. Yeah, that's kind of like a crazy thing to think about, but it does in some way like kind of make sense.
Yeah.
Which is so sad. And speaking of too, what I was just thinking of as well, speaking of that kind of like phenomenon of like random, triggers that might set off health issues, shoveling your driveway, which then was making me think that we have a big nor'easter finally coming up this week.
Oh, I'm excited for some snow.
Nor'easter in this house. But I was just thinking too, I'm like, well, if we're getting a lot of snow, if you guys are out there shoveling and you're over, I think they say 45, right? I think it's over the age of 45.
I can't remember.
To just be careful. And maybe, it's worth hiring a youngster before you get out there. Just because, why is it too? Like, other than I know it's a lot of like you're heaving by your chest. Like, there's something about emotion of like, like pulling things over your.
I mean, if I'm going to just take a stab at it here, there's probably some more specific ones that I might be overthinking it, but it's a form of resistance training, right? I think
Mm,
if people lift weights regularly, it's not as much of a stress to your heart. But let's say that
right. But if you don't really work out,
let's say that, yeah. What if you don't? It's a lot of times it is people that are just not active,
yeah.
right?
But still, I thought there was also something with, other than obviously it is like a great exercise. There's
It,
something about like the motion of like how you're shoveling that like can
we'll look.
set it off even more too.
We'll look that
I
up.
don't know. Maybe I made that up. Yeah. Who
No,
knows?
it's. I mean, it's a rotational exercise. If you think about people that use like med
That's maybe
slam
what it is.
balls,
Yeah.
a rotational exercise
Maybe that
does
was it.
stress the nervous system a little more. That's why
Yeah.
they're good to do. And that's why a lot of times when you're taking HIIT classes or things, they have you
Yep.
do rotational work because we just don't do enough of it. That's why we have sort of lower backs because the middle part of our spine, thoracic spine, the
Yep.
middle
It's
part of the
weak.
spine can't move. It is weak, right? And so
Yep.
using that part of the body in that way all of a sudden is hard. Like if you think
Totally.
about track and field events like shot put and some of these other really explosive movements, it's similar
Yeah.
to
An
that
explosive
motion.
movement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
And
If you're just not used to it.
snow ain't light. When you've got a
Yeah.
shovel full of snow, it's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
Swing some kettlebells. That's what I can tell you. It would be a very similar workout.
Movement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kettlebell swinging would get you in shape for shoveling snow.
Yeah. And remind like your parents or people, about that too.
Yeah.
Because you do hear about freak accidents that happens not often, but enough that
I mean, enough that
it's a
people
good
should think about
reminder.
it. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Talking about death. I don't know if you saw this. This was also kind of everywhere too. But did you see this woman in Thailand? This happened this week. She was buried and was about to be cremated. Or not buried, but she was like moved into a coffin and was like stashed in like a funeral home and was about to be cremated when she started like crying out for help.
I did not hear
And this
about this
happened
at
literally
all.
last week.
This stuff, I've heard other stories similar to this
It
occasionally.
happens seriously
What,
way too often.
what
Okay.
was it?
So this um example was just a woman. She was 65 and wait, no, I'm sorry. That's the 65-year-old woman's brother. Yeah, she was 65. Okay. I thought it was like maybe her brother was 65. She was 65. She obviously had not been doing well. She hadn't been doing well for the last 2 years. And apparently her brother had said that um the last 2 days, and apparently like her breath had started slowing down
Yeah.
and she like had basically stopped breathing for several hours. And she had been bedridden, he said, for about 2 years. So he was like in kind of like a village that was about 300 miles away to the nearest hospital. So even when he brought her to the hospital, they said she was dead.
Yeah.
They claimed that she was non-responsive and they moved her to a funeral home. And apparently they were gonna like cremate her right away, but the brother needed to like get the documents. Like he didn't have the proper death certificate documents in place. He had to like go back and get something for the death certificate.
Thank
So
God for
they
that
pushed it
process.
off
Good.
a day. And yeah, apparently right before, like, so she was literally like in this funeral home for like 2 days and they're about to put her through to get cremated. And they heard her, the funeral director heard her
Good thing
start to
there's
cry.
checks and balances and paperwork on that stuff, right? They didn't just
My
shove her in
God.
there.
Well, and then, so the article says, so CBS News says, you would think that that's like so crazy and like unheard of, but actually it happened in the US. This happened in June 2024.
I remember a recent story about this in
Yeah.
the US. Yeah.
Yep. A 74-year-old woman from Nebraska was declared dead at a nursing home. And she was apparently not breathing. And they brought her to the funeral home. 4 hours later, she started breathing again.
Yeah.
And it happened too. But it happens like once or twice a year. It said then in 2023, a 6-year-old woman was pronounced dead at an Iowa care facility after an employee didn't feel a pulse and she didn't feel her breathing. So they declared her dead, took her to a funeral home. A couple hours later, she started gasping for air. Oh my God. Can you imagine? If that, I mean, Also talking about nightmare fuel, like being buried alive, being buried,
That would be,
or waking up and you're in a coffin. Oh my God. I mean, I'm so claustrophobic. I would just kill me, you know? But that is a true story. And that is
terrifying.
so terrifying. And thankfully, again, it's kind of like a freak thing that he didn't have the right paperwork or whatever for the death certificate. So thank God. Can you imagine?
I wonder, and I'm sure that like a 60 Minutes or something has interviewed these people. I would love to
Yeah.
hear what their experience was with that. Like,
Well, I mean, I can just say if I got cremated, I would never stop haunting the people who did it, my brother, to make sure they knew that they killed me. I would haunt them till the day they died.
you're going to do that anyway, I'm guessing.
Obviously. One other freak of a story, okay? And I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know if this is AI or not, okay? I'll be honest. Part of me really wants to believe that it's AI, but I did find it on Time News. I mean, it looks somewhat legit. Who knows? This could be like a version of The Onion. I can only find it on like sketchy sites, but it's one of those articles you wouldn't normally find on like a CNN, okay? So here's the title. Here's the title of this. A South African pastor farts on people's heads to help, quote unquote, heal them from the devil. Okay. This is supposedly real. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Can't believe you didn't find this on CNN.
It wouldn't be on those type of sites, but like I saw it on a couple, it's on Reddit, but apparently there is this Pastor Christ Penelope of Sevenfold Holy Spirit Ministries in Limpopo, South Africa.
Okay.
He's created a buzz online for his unorthodox method of healing people after a photo of him sitting on people's heads went viral online. And an attendee that visited his church had like gone and complained online and was like, this is super, this is weird. Like
someone should do that.
Yeah. Like this is not, this isn't in the Bible anywhere. And, then it kind of picked up of like, if other people are trying to decide if it was real or not. And if it is real, it's like, okay, maybe we've gone a little too far. But he says, this is like what his explanation is. He says, it started with Master Jesus when he stepped on Peter. It is the demonstration of God's power. Just like God made Adam go into a deep sleep, it's a similar thing. God did anything with the body of Adam while he was on the ground in deep sleep. He says that farting near a person's nostrils is important so that healing power can actually enter that person's body to do the work that it needs to do. So when these people wake up, so apparently like puts them to sleep and then like farts on their heads. And then he says, when they wake up from the deep sleep, like they have like been reborn.
So he puts them to, how does he get them to go to sleep?
I don't know. Like maybe
that
with like his power or, or like he just
kind of puts them in a trance.
Puts them in a trance. And then he says, when you wake up, like you will be reborn.
They say hypnotists are good at reading people in the crowd, right? That's what their superpower is, because they know who's a little more apt to suggestion, right?
Right.
They're a little more, I'll just be mean and say gullible.
Yeah.
I think that this guy's mastered that.
Yeah. I mean,
like,
again,
if
like
he's found a congregation of people that will that are gullible enough that they will go under a deep sleep only to be farted on. Like this is like the greatest frat prank of all time. Like,
can you imagine like you're in a deep trance and then you just wake up and they're like, you farted on your
I'm healing you.
That's literally, he says, Pastor Penelope reacted to criticism saying, quote unquote, I don't fart on people, I heal people.
Oh, got it. I nailed it.
I don't know, you guys. I just report
this needs to
what
be,
I see.
This needs to be done. A little more research needs to be done on this. Do we have anyone listening from South Africa?
I doubt it, but we can hope.
Great.
We could hope.
If you are out there,
church. If anyone else has heard of this, like please speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah, we need to know what's going on with this.
We also should maybe try it. I don't know. Maybe
you want me to fart on your head
tomorrow
morning?
No, I want to fart on your head.
We'll
How
see
about
who
we
gets
fart
up.
on each other's
We'll see who gets
heads?
up earlier tomorrow.
Yeah. Who wakes up from our 2 sleeps? Have you been I will say there's something about knowing about the 2 sleeps. I
You want to
have been waking up.
set the alarm for like 12 or 1 in the morning. Let's get
I
up and draw
naturally
some
have,
pictures.
weirdly enough, been
Y-
waking up. I don't know
Since
if
you've
it's the
been thinking
ghost or the
about it,
captain. Yeah.
we can draw some pictures and stuff and
And I
whatever
was
they
like,
used to do.
wow. Well, you know what I really am craving
What?
is a puzzle. And I know in no world Poppy will allow that for very long. But maybe
Remember,
we just get like a small puzzle
remember
while she's sleeping.
I offered a fix for that. We just need to get like a large plastic mat, a large like
Yeah, that's sticky.
table mat of some kind that we can put over the puzzle. Because you remember
To
the
protect
last
it.
time we tried a puzzle, might have been at Clavelli. Now we're going way back. This is our house when we first moved to Connecticut. And Nala used to
Oh yeah, no,
knock
no,
it
no. And
everywhere.
Poppy would never allow.
No, but we didn't have anything to put on top of the puzzle. I think while
But
we're
I think
around the
even if
puzzle,
we're doing the puzzle, it's gonna
it's true.
be a
It is.
nightmare.
You are right. So
It's all
we
gonna
do
be a
need. All right.
nightmare.
So we need to do a puzzle.
Yeah.
I'll go get a puzzle tomorrow.
Yes,
We
please.
have one. I think we still have one, but
Missing a lot of pieces.
we'll go find the puzzle.
It's gone. It's gone. Say goodbye.
We'll go get a puzzle.
Well, that is some really, really fascinating, hard hitting news that you guys really need to know about.
Yeah,
And I
you had
feel
a
good
lot
about
in
it.
there.
I really feel like, those are all just things that were important. And you just need to educate yourselves, okay? So education is important. James,
The more you know.
the more you know.
Speaking of education,
Speaking of education.
it's the Science Corner. Hope you stay to play.
Hey, hey.
It's the Science Corner. It can change your day. Prue's listening. Sit Science's fun
is.
questions made by you and me. Let's start the Science Corner with curiosity.
Curiosity.
It's too much. No, I'm kidding.
What?
No, I'm
You
kidding.
didn't
That's
like my
perfect.
harmony?
That was
That's
perfect.
hurtful. That's hurtful.
So, when I was coming up with the Science Corner, I, of course, want to start with our 3i
Right. What's going on with
update.
the comet? Oh my God. December is almost upon us. Oh my God. I can't believe December's
December
tomorrow.
19th. Remember, that's the
Wow.
day.
And like it felt so far away. December felt so far away.
And
now it's almost here.
It's
tomorrow.
A couple hours.
We've been in this house for 2 months. Isn't that crazy, kooky caca?
I know it is. It's crazy kooky caca. So,
what's going on? Like, where is it now? Like, what is it thinking? What is it doing? What are the aliens controlling it to do?
well, first off, thank God NASA. So, of course, with government shutdown, NASA was shut down too.
Of course.
So there was a lot of things that they just weren't able to do because they're technically shut down and they're not supposed to be putting out press or anything like that, right?
Mhm.
So there are some things that they have found out that NASA now was officially able to release. And the first one is very clear. This object is just a comet.
Okay. Fine.
They're certain on this.
Fine.
So we can put all this to rest.
I guess. Until I see it, then I'll believe.
So they're pretty
No.
sure we're not going to be able to see it with the naked eye, even coming up
Damn.
December 19th. But the telescope we have, we might be able to see
Okay.
part of it. Remember,
We'll keep you guys posted.
Get used to finding, if you want to find the constellation Virgo, it's usually right off the tail end of the Big Dipper, which is a Big
Remember
Dipper.
that. Write that down, you guys. Write it down.
Everyone is very...
We'll remind you.
The Big Dipper's one of the
Our
most
3i
common
weekly
ones.
update. I really, was hoping for an alien, but again, you never know. They really can't be certain, right?
I think a lot of people are, but that's okay.
Okay.
I think number 2, right? One of the most important things they're getting from the 3i is a solar system wide watchtower. So when they found this thing in July, it was found, I think the original was a telescope in Chile. And remember then, as the Earth turns, there's times where certain telescopes can see it and certain ones can't. They also were using some of the telescopes. If you haven't seen the documentary on the James Webb Telescope that's been put out in the space, you need to see that. It's on Netflix. James Webb Telescope is one of the biggest ones out there. One that everyone's kind of familiar with because it's been 35 years. The Hubble Telescope as well.
We've also talked about that.
There's other system telescopes that are out there that are helping to capture. You have something to say. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, I forgot that I told everyone that we needed to watch the Age of Disclosure documentary and we didn't even see it. We didn't even talk about it.
Oh, I feel bad.
Sorry, guys. We didn't do our own homework that
We
we
didn't do
gave.
our own homework.
I
Well, we couldn't
totally forgot that
find it.
until now we're talking about it.
Yeah, we couldn't find it on
Oh,
this.
you know what it was?
What was it?
Actually, what it was is that they were going to make us pay like $30 to rent it.
Oh, is that what it was? I
And
just
I
thought
was
we couldn't
because it
find it.
just came out. No, I found it, but it was going to be $30, and I was $29.99, and I was like, you know what?
We hope you all didn't drop that $30.
I will normally like again, yeah, I
30
hope you didn't.
bucks. We should have. Yeah, we
But
could have done it.
it should normally it goes down in price. You know, like it'll be on Prime. It was on Prime, so eventually I will watch it.
We'll have to check it out
Apologies. We'll let
again.
you know once it's free. But I was not spending $30. Okay, sorry.
Um,
But anyways, it's a comment.
Yep, and it's a
all
lot of the
good.
same stuff we've covered before.
Yeah.
So I was going to
I
skip
feel
to
good
the
about
animal
that. Yeah,
section.
skip to the animals. That's what I just wanted to see if there was any like big news with them. You know, there's always
Nothing.
something in the NASA world with aliens. I just want to, a little pulse check on the aliens.
I think because NASA's just back up and running now, once they get to analyze these photos more, right?
We'll know
So
more.
there was a really cool ratio in problem. What they mean is the ratio of carbon monoxide to water was a totally different ratio than they've ever seen in our solar system, which is how they kind of know it's from a different one. But it's
Okay.
also kind of cool because it'll talk about the place that was developed, wherever this was developed, if they're going to get to learn more about where this comet started from. Because ultimately, it's probably a piece of a planet or a star or something that exploded like 10 million years ago.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Got it. Back to the animals.
Got it.
So
yeah, what's the animal this week?
So
speaking of,
did we get good feedback on the animal?
People loved the animal, and we do have a secret about the animal. But we did find a possum in our backyard. Did we already talk about that?
We might have mentioned it, but I'm glad we did.
Okay. But it's just nice, full circle moment. Okay, what do we got?
No, that's fantastic. We're gonna start with a story about this animal. And now this has been
and
around.
I'm gonna have to guess?
No, I'll probably tell you right away.
Okay.
But it's kind of a cool story because this animal saved a government in the Czech Republic around $1.2 million.
What?
Because this animal was able to move the water system that they were trying to move. Yep. So
I love a beaver.
This is a true story. It's been around on the internet, and if you follow some of like the animal stuff,
beavers are so cool.
Yeah. Grew up where I grew up, where our school name was actually the Cumberland Beavers. Like that was our mascot.
That's perfect.
Yep.
That feels right.
Grew up. We had them on our pond out at the cabin, right? So I've been growing up around them, and they are one of the coolest animals. So let's finish the story. Hopefully you've seen this online already. If you haven't, look it up. But it was just this year that this Czech Republic group, they had been looking at ways to try to establish a new dam for 7 years to fix water management issues. Because of the cost and labor and time power, it took them 7 years and they still hadn't figured it out. Well, what happened was a family of beavers moved in, and beavers have a natural instinct to just dam things up and create like a pond for their own safety. That's where they're safe. Yeah. So when you see a large pond that has a beaver hut on it, those beavers probably made it by damming up a river and blocking that area so that water could flood it. They create whole new ecosystems. They create entirely new landscapes that normally wouldn't happen. They create water sources for more animals to be able to access, and they create safety for other animals, right? So super important. And the beaver saved this Czech Republic group $1.2 million and created this whole like thriving wetland area. But
go beavers, go.
Yeah, that's why I wanted them to be kind of the feature for the animal.
Star of the week.
They're the star of the week. They're the largest rodent. They are a rodent.
Whoa.
They're the largest rodent, but that's categorized because of their front teeth, right? And they have the two little front teeth that never stop growing.
Yeah.
And they don't hibernate in the winter. They actually do just stockpile a bunch of branches and like their favorite types of foods that are high nutrient, like tree bark is one of their favorite things to eat. And they just have all those stockpiled in their little beaver huts.
Cuties.
Yeah. They actually have goggles on their eyes. They have a second large, thick eyelid so they can see underwater like perfectly.
I love that for them.
Yeah, I know.
They're so cute.
There's kind of cool stuff about them. So, nope. That's
what about their tail? Any cool facts about their tail?
Yeah. Well, you know that when they whack their tail in the water, that's a warning system.
For what?
Yeah. So if you're around, have you ever heard of beaver slap on the water?
I don't know if I ever have.
See, I grew up in lakes. There aren't many saltwater beavers, right? But if you go up, like I'm sure some of the lakes in Upper Maine, right? if you are by them in a boat, and most of the time, we were in canoes and we were rowing, and it wasn't like a motorboat, so it wasn't
Yeah.
super loud. But yeah, if you get into their area, they take their tail and they smack it on the water
Just to
really
say, like,
hard,
go away.
just and warn their family.
Oh,
They're monogamous
oh.
animals. They will mate with one mate for
It's kinda
life,
like otters.
kind of like otters, and they will mate with one, and
Yep.
that's their family dynamic. Yep, but they will smack the
Aw.
water with their tail in order to warn all the other beavers around,
Hmm.
and it does kind of scare whatever's in the
Yeah, it
area.
normally scares that
It's really loud.
predator too.
They're really loud. Yep,
That is fascinating. I don't know if this was gonna be on your list of animals too at one point,
we can do any list of
but
animals.
who else has been, like, really getting a lot of,
Who
good press lately? And I can't remember if we also mentioned this last week, but raccoons.
I almost did raccoons.
Did you hear raccoons are, like, apparently, like, in line to be the next domesticated animal?
I sent that to
Oh, you okay.
you.
Well, I also, like,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, I'm chronically online, but yes, that's, like, people
We
are
got. We'll talk about raccoons next week.
yeah,
We'll talk
we
about
should
that.
talk about
They're
raccoons.
noticing they're having shorter snouts in the
Yeah, they're, like, trying
city
to appeal
versus
more to
wild to
humans.
humans. Hmm.
Be like, "I'm
They
cute."
are going to be the next pets, and we'll probably have one at some point.
Oh my god, thank God. Yeah, speaking of pet update, we have things. We have big plans, but we're thinking there's a chance our neighbors who are this older couple with kids like our age, basically. They're like our parents' age. They have a farm and they have goats that are having babies this spring. And they said, if we want a couple, we can have them. So
We might get some
we
goats.
might get some goats and chickens. But, we got to build the sheds. We have things that we need to do. We have things we need to do. But thank you, James. That was so gorgeous. We love a little update, on what's going on with all of the aliens of it all and the comets, and we still got to get our telescope out
Yep.
because the stars are crazy out here. But the animals, I'm loving the weekly animal.
Yeah, we got to keep. We're going to stick with the animal. I have a few others on my list too, but we'll do raccoons next week.
I like raccoons. I love like some animal facts. Especially, you know what else? You gotta look into those coyotes too. Because apparently someone had said, I had posted, we have, of course, just like a ton of wildlife in our backyard, but we have like this pack of coyotes. And when I posted the trail cam, a couple people are like, those look like what they call coy wolves.
So that coyote mated with wolves.
Yeah, they're like a hybrid. Because there aren't technically any like full breed wolves in Maine left.
Oh no.
They killed them all.
Yeah.
Like the end of the 1800s. But there are these coy wolves that are like a coyote wolf hybrid that
Interesting.
are in Maine.
I'd have to look at our footage a little bit more.
Yeah, and be interesting.
Be very
Someone could look at it
interesting.
and tell us what they are because they're big. That's the thing is they're not like the Connecticut coyotes that we saw. They're like these mangely, like starved.
No, these are well fed,
These are well fed,
which
big,
scares the bejesus out of me.
thick. Yeah, I know. That's why, it's good. I think it's good that we're able to kind of see what predators we have out there, so we now know what we need to protect against.
Yep.
And we're gonna have to really keep that in mind, and also really maybe consider doing a a protector, a farm livestock protector,
Yeah, like a Pyrenees.
like a Pyrenees, possibly. All right. Anyways, James, again, thank you for that gorgeous rendition. We are now going into one of our favorite times of the year.
This is the best part of the podcast.
The best. Whoa. It's time for secret. That's right. It's time for secrets, where you guys call in, tell us your weird secret, something weird that's happened. We, of course, were asking for some weird Thanksgiving stories, which we did get a couple. We got a really good one I'm going to share. We also have a possum story.
I'm excited for the possum story.
So, if you have any, especially with holidays coming up, if you have any good holiday secrets, something secret or weird your family does that you do, something weird that's happened, We love a relevant secret, or just like any weird secret in general, you know? We love a weird secret. Okay. First of all, we have the Dr. Weiner too that called back in.
Okay, good.
Also. But if you want to call in and let us know your weird secret, you can call in too.
Speak pipe.
That's speakpipe.com/weird and proud pod. Again, speakpipe.com/weird and proud pod. All right. Here we go.
I am freaking out because you guys shouted out my Dr. Weiner. I'm sorry that the audio is messed up, but the story was that my partner got circumcised when he was like 10 years old, and the doctor's name was Dr. Weiner. And his parents wanted to give him choice, and he's like, they're assholes for that because, yeah, his wiener kept getting infected.
So she called back in too. There's like another one that was 10 seconds. And she was like, it was weird, you know, too, that his name is Dr. Weiner. He ended up getting infected. And like his parents asked him, like as a kid.
That's
if you
like,
want-
how as a 10-year-old are you supposed to decide?
Right.
Like,
Right?
that's a tough one.
So weird.
I can
But
see
I
from
guess
the parents' angle where it's like,
you want to be of an age where they can
yeah,
decide. I
yeah.
guess. But I feel like that it's supposed to like hurt and you have a higher chance of getting infected as you're
Especially the older you are. Yeah, that's supposed to happen when you're a baby.
So I guess why that could happen. I think, you know, I'm not gonna blame Dr. Weiner, but because his name is Dr. Weiner, like I feel like he'd have to
Probably
be
gonna
like
be
an
an
actual
expert.
right, an expert in his field if that's his name. But that is, I feel like most people would probably go through with, you know, like
I
do it,
think you're
especially if
still,
everyone does
I think
it.
at that age, you're still so impressionable, you're not going to know what to say.
Right. Be like,
Like,
I don't know. What do you think, mom?
I mean, the only thing that I could think of is at that age, I don't know if kids still have to like, you're not really showering in the locker room yet, which is always such a
Right. When you
weird thing.
see, other
But they're like,
kids.
yeah, then you see like, oh, that's weird.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that I could see being part of this process. But again, at 10 years old, like you don't really need to shower until you go through puberty. Right.
Right.
So you're really not starting to hit the showers till junior high.
Mhm.
I don't know. I can't imagine a
Yeah.
10-year-old being ready to make that kind of.
Very weird, but just funny. I like a Dr. Weiner. What are the chances? And almost feel like that was the only career path he could take, you know? As a wiener doctor.
I mean, if he was going to be a doctor, it'd have to be a wiener doctor.
Yeah. But very funny. I love a little tidbit.
I mean, because if he was going to be like a psychologist, would you go to a psychologist named Dr. Weiner?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, there. But,
or an OBGYN.
Yeah, would you go to OBGYN called Dr. Weiner? Nope. He's got to be a wiener
feels
doctor.
Feels wrong. All right. Now we have the story about a possum, which I think is a beautiful little story.
Oh, good.
About a real life possum. All right, here we go.
Hey, Sam and James. So, when I was in high school, I found a girl on MySpace who owned a possum, and it was like her pet. She treated it like a big fat cat. It was huge. It was like the size of a pug. And it lived in her house, and she posted a bunch of pictures of it on MySpace. And one day, this possum gave birth to a bunch of little babies, and they were up for adoption. And the girl who owned the possum mama was like, possums make great pets. You know, they're clean and they're just like cats. And I was super interested. So I went over, I picked one out, and I just immediately fell in love with this little thing. I think I got it when it was like a month old, and it was super tiny. I would actually bring it to high school with me, and I would tuck her in my bra, and she would sleep all day right there on my chest. And none of the teachers knew, but all my friends knew that I had a little possum in my shirt. So, as you guys know, possums are nocturnal. So every night, this poor baby would just be in her cage, just kind of freaking out, hissing, and just thrashing around. And I was like, you know what? This is not right. This is a wild animal, and it's not right for me to have it in a cage. And, you know, taking to school and all that stuff. So I ended up taking her to a wildlife center in my area. And yeah, I was so in love with that possum, but I realized it just wasn't right to keep a wild animal like that. So she's in better hands now. And I have learned my lesson not to take in exotic animals or any animal that shouldn't be. Any wild animal needs to be living in the wild and not in a cage. So, anyways, okay, bye guys.
Beautiful ending to a story. That is the one thing, and it's same. I wanted sugar gliders.
Oh, flying squirrels?
Yeah, they're basically flying squirrels, but they're really tiny flying
Like
squirrels.
chipmunks, flying
Yeah, they're
chipmunks.
like flying chipmunks. They're so cute. Then I found out they're nocturnal, so you can't even like during the day they sleep all day long.
Yeah, and they're going to get up at
They're
night.
only right, so like you have to basically like, take care of them and like play with them in the middle of the night, which is just unrealistic.
2 sleeps.
Two
Solves the problem.
sleeps. But the whole possum thing, that too, that's tough. Raccoons aren't nocturnal, are they?
Yep.
They are. See, that makes it tricky.
That's,
unless they're willing to adapt.
I mean, they're
You know?
from my understanding, they're mostly nocturnal. That's why you see raccoons. at
Cats
night.
are kind
They're
of like nocturnal.
Cats
though.
are, but cats are kind of nocturnal too, and they did change, right?
Right, they adapted.
But I mean, if you think about it too, lions, tigers, they do hunt during the day.
Yeah, that's true. But that adds another level of difficulty.
Yeah,
It really does.
I hope. I loved your story because you did the right thing, right?
Yes.
But it's still such a beautiful story, and people are going to test stuff out. And I'm glad that it was like,
and
you
if it does
cared
work for
so
some
much.
people, like there was like this person who had sugar gliders, and they were just night people too. Like they, were up all night and
the
slept in.
possum like is a marsupial, so it's used to being in a
Yeah,
pouch.
yeah, yeah.
So you having it
I know,
in
it's
your
funny
shirt,
you had it in
that would be
school.
perfectly comfortable for the possum. That's what they would expect.
Aw.
Because again, they're nocturnal, so they're in their mother's pouch like all day.
when they're sleeping.
Yeah. So
Aw,
that
poor
was probably the right thing
babies.
for the possum at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yes, being in cage when it's like natural
supposed to be
instincts,
playing and
that's
stuff.
tough. That's hard.
Yeah, you did the right thing. But I just love the cheetah pet possum. You really don't see it that often.
No.
Because they're kind of like how people think about ferrets too, in a way.
Yeah.
Like,
Ferrets are still wild animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're also, I think they're nocturnal too. Somewhat, no?
I've seen ferrets that are awake more during the day.
Yeah, okay. I can remember.
I don't know naturally. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure that they're pretty active during the day.
Yeah. All right. Now our last secret. This is a Thanksgiving story that was cracking me up. Very relatable.
Beautiful.
I loved it. So here we go.
Hey, Sam and Jan. You guys said that you wanted some Thanksgiving stories, so I got a pretty cringy one for you. So this year we decided to do a blended Thanksgiving. It was my family, and just for background reference, we are just white people, just white folk. And my husband's family, they're Colombian American. Colombian descent, but have lived in America for, the past 50 years. So for some reason, my boomer mom and aunt, both of them, whenever they're around somebody with an accent or someone who speaks a different language, they will start to pick up their accent. So for example, if we're at a sushi restaurant, my mom will order her sushi with an Asian accent. And I'm like, oh my God, woman, you can't do that, And she doesn't even realize she's doing it. And my mom is the kindest, not racist person in the world. She truly is not, but she just does it. And it is so strange. So I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. The whole time my mom is talking to my new mother-in-law, just in this horrible fake Spanish accent, like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Do you want turkey? Stuffing? Mashed potato? And I'm like, Mom, what are you doing? I pulled her aside and, come on, just be yourself. You don't have to pretend to be Spanish. We know that you're not. And she's like, what are you talking about? She doesn't even know that she's doing it. That's the craziest part. And then halfway through dinner, we're talking about, Thanksgiving traditions and, what are we thankful for and everything. And then my mom goes, I'm so grateful to have these multicultural people come over. And I'm so happy that they're able to experience their first Thanksgiving, their first American Thanksgiving with us. I'm like, what the fuck? This is not their first American Thanksgiving. They've lived in America for generations. Like, hello. Anyways, yeah, super cringe. Like I said, my mom means no harm, but sometimes boomers, they just cannot control what comes out of their damn mouth. Anyways, bye guys. Love you.
That's
that was beautiful.
hysterical and
That's
so relatable. My mom does the same thing. You know, it's like it's not malicious in any way. It's more of like them, you know, just trying, you know, to put some effort. But my mom will do that.
you
with
do.
her.
You've told me those stories before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. God bless. God bless. Yeah, it's not, they're not trying to do me harm. They're not trying to be like a racist. Obviously, just sometimes kick them off a little bit. But I feel like they're not, you know, meaning any harm. And hopefully I'm sure the family can tell that they're not meaning any harm. And she is
sure.
sweet, you know.
I'm sure.
But it's just cringy. It's so cringy. The boomers, but they're trying. I mean, it could have been so much worse. I was getting really nervous when I first was listening to this because there was another one that was a little more rough, and you know, could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. So
I wonder how her new in-laws felt about all that.
yeah. But I hope it was still. Oh my god! I knew that was gonna happen. While
The animals are getting
the last
restless.
secret, Prue was starting to get restless, and she just knocked over a light. I knew that was gonna happen. Anyways, I love the secret. I love, you know, a harmless, cringy boomer moment. A harmless, cringy boomer. If you guys have any weird holiday secrets, anything weird your family does, anything weird coming up, anything weird you want to tell us, a weird secret, a weird story. Oh, I hope Prue didn't press a wrong button.
I don't think she did.
Okay.
I can still hear both of us.
Okay.
And it's still timing. So.
Okay, good. You can call if you want to call in. Leave us a weird secret. You can call in too.
SpeakPipe.
That's speakpipe.com/weird and proud pod. Again, speakpipe.com/weird and proud pod. We love you guys so much. Sorry for the little bit of a roughness. We're working around some of the edges as we set up this new video element for you guys, but we are getting there. We love you so much. Thanks for your patience, and hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. We will see you next time. Love you so much.
Love you, Weirdlings.
Bye.